Hey everybody, it's Jeff. This will be part 3 of the Roden model Holt artillery tractor 1/35th scale. I finished off step 8, 9, and 10 in this episode. I didn't have as much free time this week as I'd hoped to, but I got a bit done. Here's the frame. Got it all put together. It's all nice and square and everything. And here's the front wheel. Okay. Okay. This took a lot of time. And I did finish the other set of tracks. Okay. I spent a lot of time filling the seam on this and getting it looking halfway decent. Let me show you here real quick kind of how things are going to look going into the next step real quick. Let's see here. Here's the part we built in the last episode for the tracks to go around. This will go on here like so. Very delicate parts. Okay. And then this will go here. This will be done first thing in the next episode. But that's kind of where we're at. Okay, it's kind of starting to take shape. This is taking a lot of time to clean up and get seams fixed and do all that. So it's not going to be a quick build, that's for sure. But I'm going to be doing the very best job I can with it. Alright, let's go down to the bench, and which I guess we're already down at the bench, but let's go to the first part of the video and I'll show you what I've been up to. Alright, be right back. Okay, in the last video we left off with step 6, which was the tracks, and I had completed one on camera, or I completed one before I did the video, and then I just finished the second one. So they're all good to go. I wanted to show you a picture real quick of what these look like before and after. Let's flip this around, and okay, here's the before. You can see the flash, and then there's 3 ejector pin marks on this. This one you're not ever going to see, so I cleaned these 2 off. You can see in the finished one, and I put just a little bit of the extra thing glue just to kind of smooth the surface out after working on it so much. So this is what I start with. There was 54 links, so they pretty much all look like that, and then that's what I actually ended up with after quite a few hours of cleaning and scraping. Alright, let's go ahead and move on with what we got going on here. Let's see here. Move that down. And we'll go for this. Okay, I got a box here. I got boxes that I marked. This is Holt, so I know that these parts are all for the Holt, and we'll go ahead and put these links in here and keep them nice and safe. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and move on to step 7. Okay. I've got all my parts lined up here. So this is everything I need for step 7. I'm not going to actually quite finish step 7 because I want to do some painting first. So this is D8. There's 2 of those. This is F19 and F20, which I went ahead and assembled and finished the seams on ahead of time. It's just this just this little part right here. Okay. And then we have D11 times 2. And then we have D27 times 2. And F9. So let's go ahead and get some of this put together. I think the easiest thing is going to be take these, and these all required huge amounts of cleanup, lots of seam marks and everything. Okay, this is the inner and the front and the back of the wheels, and there's little grooves or little notches all the way around the inside that these will drop into. Okay, so this will be facing out. There we go. You sit in there just like so. Just a top, just a touch of glue at the joints. Be all it's going to take. Okay, give that one a minute. And then the same with this. Try to work on camera. Oop, and I got that one backwards. If you hear a noise in the background, I'm sorry, it's my oxygen machine. I had to fill some oxygen bottles. I went to the doctor the last couple of days. Pretty much used up all my portable oxygen. I got to go to the doctor again on Friday just for a blood pressure check. My blood pressure was extremely high. I don't understand why, because modeling's supposed to be relaxing, which it is. Okay, there's the first two. And then this is F9. This took a lot of cleanup too. The inside I'm not terribly happy with. There's a lot of little I don't know what you'd call them. They're little details that were kind of hard to scrape around. But we'll see how it looks. This needs to go on here, and it lines up. Everything's keyed, and there's going to be a seam there that I'm going to want to fill. So I'm not going to actually finish putting this all together right now. I want to make sure that seam's all good before I put the rest of it together. Going a little section at a time. Okay. And we have a little spacer that we need to put in the middle, which will be this here. Fingers to work. It just barely sits in there. Fact is, it's a little tight. Well, okay, it looks like I'm going to have to open that hole up just a little bit. Okay. Let's see what we can do about that. Let's see here. Where? Since I got a small drill bit here that's big enough. Just a little too small. Drill bit's not particularly sharp. Try another one here. That's not the best. We'll go with a scalpel. I can see a little ridge in there that I didn't clean out well. Much better. Okay. Just do it like that. Okay. That's going to take care of it. Let's get just a touch of glue in there. Too much. Okay, quite in the center. And we've got to rotate it. There we go. The spokes are offset, you can see. Let me get it glued and I'll show you. But there's some pretty good seams there that are going to need to be addressed. I'll need to fill them before I do any painting. Well, hang on, be right back. My oxygen machine's giving me a little warning. Not just sure why it does that, but just about every 2 or 3 days it does that and shuts down. I got to shut it off and let it cool for a bit. It's almost there. There's no way I'd leave that seam though. It's going to have to be filled. Okay. I might set a little bit of weight on that for a little bit. There's the front wheel. All made up. Yeah, I'll put some, I've got some of these 1, 2, 3 blocks for machine work. I'll just set that on there for a little bit. Make sure the joint's nice and tight. We'll hold off on the D8s for right now. Okay, so that'll be for a little bit future work. So that's pretty much going to have 7 finished. Put my mess away. And let's take a look at step 8. Now 8 obviously requires part 7, so I can't really complete this, but I can do a little bit. This F11, let's see, this is all the parts for 8. This part here is kind of the key pivot for the front wheel, and there's quite a few parts that connect to that, and it was really heavy with seams. There's connecting points are on the inside here where these other parts connect to, and with the seam being so bad, they were pretty much just little blobs. They weren't really defined very well. I wanted to show you a picture of just how this actually goes together, or a quick little drawing I put together. Hang on here. Okay. And let's make this full screen. Okay. This is F7, or yeah, was it F7? Little ring around the inside here, and to make it bigger, these are where D18 connect to. Then we've got D8 go from here to here, and then from here to here, and then on the blue, F10 connects here, here, and here. Okay, so you got to make sure that they're all in the right place or it won't fit. And then this circumference has to match the other part that it goes to. So I had to be real careful to make sure I didn't scrape it too small or anything to make sure it still fit. So that's kind of how it goes together. So if you guys are building these in the future, that's kind of how the instructions are very vague, but that's how it goes together. Okay, let's get back to here. Okay. So I can't really put, whoops, sorry about that. I really can't put quite all this together yet. I can go ahead and put the gear on, and if I'm not mistaken, the gear doesn't fit real great, and there is a right side up and stuff on this. Okay, so it needs to go like so. And this will go here. Okay, let's put just a little bit of glue on the center one. Sure, just the best way to do this. Okay, just checking my fit, making sure. I'm sorry, I'm off camera. Okay, that's how the gear goes. You can see it. Okay, so that's about as far as I can go on step 8 until I get the seams filled and everything on the last part. So we'll go ahead and save that aside. Okay. Okay. You know how it is with building models. Sometimes you gotta jump around a bit. Let's go ahead and go on to 9. 9's going to be the frame. Okay. And let's see here. There's the 2 frame rails. And then this is going to be, this is F1. This will be in the end. This is actually what that previous part swiveled in. And this is F2. It goes above that, and it's kind of the place where it stops. So here's our one of our cross members. What I'm going to do is I've got a little jig. This is going to be a square frame. Okay, there's not going to be a taper to it or anything. So I've got this little jig rigged up. It's a surface plate from my Shoreline mill, and this is a square right here. It's a square corner. So if I butt the frame up against the back and this side, once it's all set up, it should be nice and square. And I want to build this upside down because there's some parts that are going to be sticking down. So this will be A21, and I'll build this and then I'll set it in the jig. This is the next. This is the A22. I've got A16. This is A5. It'll go clear to the back. And these are 2 D27s. It'll go in the middle. And then this will go. This is the F11. And these are all keyed, but the key is not very good. There's a little key right there. Okay, so this is going to go upside down like that in here when it's all together. So let's go ahead and start gluing these pieces, and then we'll set it in the jig. So that's going to sit right on the corner, and I've got it inside out, of course. There we go. That's where that's going to go. I had a lot of sink marks on this frame too. I think I filled 14 or 15 sink marks. 4 on each side rail and then a couple on each cross member. Okay. Right here. The locating pins and everything, hang on a minute, I'm doing this backwards because I'm going to be working from the bottom. So this will go this way, and I got to turn that one over too. I almost did it. So we're going to be working this way. Okay, and then this one needs to be flipped over too because I'm working from the bottom. want to make sure my corners are lined up as close as I can get them. Okay. And this one, it shouldn't matter. It's the same both ways. Okay. And then we need to do this. So I'll do that first. Let it stick. Next one. The locating pins on these are pretty much non-existent, so I'm kind of just lining them up by eye. They are supposed to have locating pins, but they didn't fully mold, or I sanded them off when I was cleaning up the mold lines. Not quite. To go just a little bit closer. There we go. Okay, and this will be the bottom. So we'll go in like so, and then this ring needs to go with these three parts forward, so it'll sit here. Okay, get some glue on it. Whoop. Very fiddly. And okay, I'm doing it backwards, of course. We're getting close. just don't give you much in the way of positive locating. And just a little bit warped, so I'll set a little weight on this. Not real happy with those joints there, so I might put a little clamp on them. Let's see. Let's see if those will help. And then we'll put some weight on it. Keep it exactly flat. This surface plate it's aluminum, but it's been machined flat. Okay, that's going to be the frame. I've got to put part F2 on yet, but it'll go on from the other side. So I'm going to take a little break here and let this set up, and then I'll be back, okay? Okay, it's the next morning now. I've got the seams filled on this all the way around. I think they'll look pretty good under paint. I used the Mr. Surfacer 1000. Probably took me about 3 layers. Very, very tiny, thin layers. Okay, to get that all good shape. I think it'll look good on paint, under paint. And I did a little on the inside. You're not going to see much of the inside. But I spent a little time on those seams too. Okay. Also, off camera, I put this last ring in here, which we will look at in the, yeah, it's F2, okay, which is the upper ring here. The way this works, there's 2 rings, and the bottom ring is larger than the top ring. So when this goes in, it goes up against the upper ring, okay, and sits there, so it doesn't just fall through. Okay, and then there's some rivet detail on here that's lost. It was in the seam, the mold seams again, so I'll recreate those. And then there's a few, there's supposed to be a couple of rivets here, and I think like 6 rivets here, and then a couple rivets here. So I'll recreate those, but that's basically the frame. All good to go. It's nice and square and flat, which is what's important. Okay, let's go back to this. In step 8, I went ahead and glued on one side just to give the wheel something to sit against. I'm hoping that's going to be square. If not, I'll have to do a little adjustment. But that's where that's D18 and D8. So we're going to set the wheel in here now. Okay, it goes like so, and then we'll see how this works out. I might have to do this off camera. It's really, really fiddly. Get rid of these glasses. Okay, I think we got it. That was tricky. It's still a little crooked. The ring, this ring that goes all the way around, kind of flexes a little bit. It's going to be real hard to get it just perfectly straight. Okay. I'm thinking I'm probably going to just work with it like that. I might even just glue it in straight just to keep it from being at a crazy angle. Okay, this is going to go in here like so. Okay. That's kind of how that's going to be. It looks to me like the wheel sets a little more to the back than the front, but there's not a lot I can do about it. Okay. I got some other stuff I need to get done today, so I'm probably going to call this video here, and then when we come back we'll continue on. That pretty much finishes step 9 except for the rivets. Then we'll continue on with step 10 when we come back, okay? Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. This is a slow project, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. Talk to you later, okay? Bye-bye.